Hello everyone, I am Dr. Chirag Patel. In last session, we had discussed about peptidoglycan synthesis, a target of chemotherapeutic agent. Today, I am come with the next topic, that is protein synthesis, a target of chemotherapeutic agent. Let's first see what are the learning outcome of this session. So, after completion of this session, learners should be able to understand prokaryotes protein synthesis and understand mechanism of protein synthesis inhibitor such as tetracycline, macrolide antibiotic, aminoglycosides and streptogramins. So, let's first start with the basic introduction. Protein and peptide synthesis is mainly occur on the ribosome. Eukaryotic and prokaryotic ribosome are different, and this provide the basis for the selective antimicrobial action of antibiotics. The bacterial ribosome consists of 50 S subunit and a 30 S subunit, whereas in the mammalian ribosome the subunit are 60S and 40S. So this is the basic difference between the ribosome of eukaryotics and prokaryotics. The conventional concept of central dogma of life, which is in essence is DNA makes RNA and RNA makes protein. Normally, DNA is synthesized from its parent's DNA through replication process. Then the RNA is synthesized from DNA through RNA polymerase enzyme by transcription. The genetic information stored in the DNA is placed onto the RNA through transcription and ultimately expressed in the language of protein. So, the biosynthesis of protein or polypeptide in living cell is referred to as translation. The sequence of amino acid in the protein is determined by the nucleotide base sequence of mRNA. Let's discuss translation in prokaryotics. Translation in prokaryotes involve the assembly of component of translation system, and it includes first 2 ribosomal subunit, 30S subunit and 50S subunit. The second, mRNA to be translated, 3 initiation factor, the first amino acid tRNA and GTP, which is act as the source of energy. The ribosome also contain the 3 RNA binding site, which is designated A, P and E. The site A is the point of entry for amino acyl tRNA. The P site binds the peptidyl tRNA and the E site binds a free tRNA which exit from the ribosome. The 3 nucleotide base sequence in mRNA that act as the code word for amino acid, which is known as codon. AUG and GUG is known as the initiating codon, and UAG, UAA and UGA is act as stop codon. The codon of mRNA recognized by anticodon of tRNA. The next important component is the peptidyl transferase enzyme. The growing polypeptide chain on P site tRNA is covalently linked to the amino acid attached to the A site tRNA and form the peptide bond. The P site tRNA is now unacylated and the A site tRNA is covalently linked to the growing polypeptide chain. This step is catalyzed by peptidyl transferase enzyme. Next, let's understand different steps of translation process. So, translation in prokaryotics. Translation of prokaryotic is divided into three steps. The first step is the initiation of translation. The second one is the elongation of translation, and the third one is the termination of translation. So, first start with the initiation of translation. The 30S ribosomal subunit is bound to initiation factor IF3, which is required to allow the 30S subunit to bind to mRNA. The second factor is the factor 1, which bind to A site, where it prevents the entry of new amino acyl tRNA before full ribosome is assembled. And the third one is the ternary complex, which contain the factor 2, GTP and formyl methionine tRNA. These settle into the P site. So, the 30S ribosomal subunit bound to the all this initiation factor, and the ribosomal initiation complex scan the mRNA for identification of appropriate initiation codon, which is AUG, a starting codon. Once it identifies the initiating codon, the GTP hydrolyze and it release energy. This energy is used to further release these three factors. After that, the 50S ribosomal subunit is now bound with the 30S unit to produce initiation complex. So, this step is known as the initiation of translation. Now, this complex is ready for further elongation of translation. The second step is the elongation of translation. Ribosome elongate the polypeptide chain by sequentially addition of amino acid. Amino acid sequence is determined by the order of codon in the specific mRNA. The elongation of translation is further divided into the three steps. So, the first one is the binding of amino acyl tRNA to A site. Initiation complex contain methionine tRNA in the P site, and the A site is free. On the basis of codon recognition on mRNA, the amino acyl tRNA is placed on the A site. Then the second step is the peptide bond formation. So the amino acyl tRNA bond is broken and release the amino acid methionine. Then the amino acid is transferred to the amino acyl tRNA, which is present on A site, and it forms a peptide bond by peptidyl transferase enzyme. This step is known as the peptide bond formation. So, after that, the next step is the translocation. As the peptide bond formation occurs, the ribosome moves to next codon of the mRNA toward the 3' end. This process called the translocation. Basically, it involves the movement of growing peptide chain from A site to P site, which result in A site is free. Now, on the basis of codon recognition on mRNA, the new amino acyl tRNA is placed onto the A site, and the deacylated tRNA which is present on E site which leave the ribosome. By this way, the cycle is repeat and sequentially add amino acid and elongate polypeptide chain. After several cycles of elongation, incorporating of amino acid and the formation of specific protein or peptide molecule, one of the stop codon UAA, UAG and UCA terminate the growing polypeptide. Stop codon means which do not have specific tRNA to bind with codon. As the termination codon occupy the ribosomal A site, the peptidyl transferase cleave the peptide bond between polypeptide and the tRNA occupy at P site, which resulting release protein and tRNA from the P site. Then the 30S and the 50S subunit dissociate, which is further recycle. Then the mRNA is also released. So this is the last step, termination of translation. So in summary, prokaryotes translation is divided into the 3 steps. First one is the initiation, second one is the elongation, and the third one is the translocation. Next, let's focus on the drug or agent which inhibit synthesis of protein. The protein synthesis inhibitor work at different stages of translation, such as initiation, elongation and termination. The first protein synthesis inhibitor is the linezolid. The linezolid is the synthetic antibiotic of oxazolidinone class, which is used in the treatment of infection caused by multi-resistant bacteria including Streptococcus and methicillin-resistant Staphylococcal aureus MRSA. Linezolid inhibit protein synthesis by binding to the P site of 50S ribosomal subunit and preventing formation of larger ribosomal complex that initiate protein synthesis. In simple, it prevents formation of initiation complex. So this is the mechanism of linezolid. The second one is the tetracycline. Tetracycline is the broad spectrum antibiotic which is produced by Streptomyces genus of Actinobacteria. It exerts a bacteriostatic effect on bacteria. Tetracycline inhibit protein synthesis by binding to 30S bacterial ribosome and preventing access of amino acid tRNA to acceptor site on mRNA ribosome complex. As a result, the peptide chain failed to grow. This is the mechanism of tetracycline. The next is the chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol is the broad spectrum antibiotic which is obtained from Streptomyces venezuelai. Chloramphenicol inhibit bacterial protein synthesis by attached to a 50S ribosome and may hinder the access of amino acid tRNA to acceptor site and interfering with transfer of elongated peptide chain to newly attached amino acid tRNA at the ribosome mRNA complex, resulting interaction between peptidyl transferase and its amino acid substrate cannot occur and peptide bond formation is inhibited. In summary, Chloramphenicol inhibit peptide bond formation in translation. The next is the macrolide antibiotic. Macrolide class of antibiotic include clarithromycin, azithromycin, fidaxomicin and erythromycin. Macrolide antibiotics are bacteriostatic agent. Macrolide inhibit protein synthesis by combine with 50S ribosomal subunit and it interfere with translocation. After peptide bond formation between newly attached amino acid and growing peptide chain at acceptor site, elongated peptide is translocated back to P site, which making the A site available for next amino acyl tRNA attachment. This is prevented by macrolides and ribosome fail to move along the mRNA to expose the next codon. As an indirect consequence, peptide chain may be prematurely terminated. Synthesis of larger protein is specifically suppressed. So, this is the mechanism of macrolide antibiotic. In simple, macrolide inhibit translocation step in the translation. The next antibiotic is the aminoglycoside. Aminoglycoside means a molecule which containing amino group and sugar moiety. These molecules are therefore produced naturally, generally by bacteria of genus Streptomyces and Micromonospora. It is generally observed that aminoglycoside obtained from Micromonospora genus of bacteria have nomenclature suffixed with the term mycin, such as amikacin, gentamicin, netilmicin, sisomycin, isepamycin, vadamycin and astromycin, while those from the Streptomyces genus have nomenclature suffixed with the term mycin, such as streptomycin, neomycin, kanamycin, hygromycin, spectinomycin and paramomycin. So these are the different example of aminoglycoside. Next, focus the mechanism. Aminoglycoside inhibit bacterial growth by three pathways. The first one is they block formation of initiation complex. Second, they cause misreading of code on the mRNA template. And third, it interfere with translocation of tRNA from the A site to the P site. So the first mechanism is they block formation of initiation complex. The aminoglycoside neomycin and promomycin binds to 30S ribosomal subunit prior to ribosome complex formation, and it interfere with assembly of functional ribosome apparatus or initiation complex. They also freeze initiation of protein synthesis. It also promote 60S ribosome disaggregation to monosome, so that only one ribosome is attached to each strand of mRNA. This is the first pathway by which aminoglycoside inhibit bacterial growth. The second one is the misreading of code on mRNA template. Aminoglycoside inhibit translation of mRNA by binding to 30S subunit on ribosome. The irreversible binding of aminoglycoside to 30S subunit of ribosome cause the misreading of codon along the mRNA. This misreading of codon cause error in the proofreading process of translation, which leading to improper protein expression. Let's understand with the help of example. In this example, the codon GGA code for the amino acid glycine. As a result of misreading, a GGA pair with the CGU, which is the anticodon, and this tRNA, however, carry the amino acid leucine instead of glycine, leading to improper protein expression is occur, that is subsequently released to cause damage to cell membrane and bacterial cell death. So, in summary, aminoglycoside cause misreading of code on the mRNA template. And the third pathway is it interfering with translocation of tRNA from A site to P site. Aminoglycosides such as kanamycin, gentamicin and tobramycin inhibit protein synthesis in bacteria by binding irreversible to 30S ribosomal subunit. This inhibit transfer of amino acid tRNA to peptidyl site, causing premature termination of peptide chain. Since the protein is not fully expressed, the small peptide chain are not capable of functioning like the whole protein, leading to faulty cellular function, which eventually cause cell death of the bacteria. So, aminoglycoside produce its effect by these three mechanisms. First, they block formation of initiation complex. Second, they cause misreading of code. And the third, they inhibit translocation of tRNA from the A site to P site. The next is the streptogramine. Quinopristine and dalfopristin are a protein synthesis inhibitor which act synergistically. Each of these two is only bacteriostatic agent, but the combination show bactericidal activity. The combination is used to treat infection by staphylococci and by vancomycin resistant enterococcus bacteria. Quinopristine bind to 50S ribosomal subunit and prevent elongation of polypeptide and early termination of protein synthesis, while dalfopristin bind at the site nearby, resulting conformational change in the 50S ribosome and directly interfere with polypeptide chain formation. So, these are the example of streptogramine and its mechanism of action. In summary, today we discussed the protein synthesis or translation process in prokaryotics and different protein synthesis inhibitors such as chloramphenicol, tetracycline, macrolide antibiotic, linezolid, aminoglycoside and streptogramine. These are the references which used to prepare this video. Thank you. If you have any question, you can find me at patelchirag17787 @gmail.com. Thank you.